Hey guys, welcome to my new movie collections update video for the month of November. Yeah, I know it's been a while since I've done one of these. If you guys were around all of October, I was pretty much doing horror themed videos, in terms of favorite movies and video games. So I hope you guys enjoyed those videos. If you haven't seen them or don't know what I'm talking about, well, then just check out all the previous videos prior to this one so you can check out what I'm talking about. Some pretty good stuff that I put up there, guys, all right? Also, I mentioned in my previous video that I finally uploaded my short film that I was working on a couple of months ago. So it's up on Vimeo. I'll probably put the link to that in the description. So look forward to that. Look at there. Check it out. Send me comments, about the short film either on this comment section here from this YouTube video, or just leave comments even on Vimeo from you guys. All right. Tell me what you think. All right. All right. So in terms of what I'm going to show you guys today for this movie update collection video, I don't think I have a lot of stuff here. I think some of the things I'm going to show you are probably stuff that I already showed you in a previous video. I just don't remember what I have shown you and what I haven't. So I'm just going to show you this stuff in here. It's not a lot. It's pretty much a small pile. But anyway, whatever, right, guys? Let's just do it, right? So the first film that I got to show you guys is this film called Cyrus with Jonah Hill, John C. Reilly, and Marissa Tomei. And I have to say that this movie was actually really funny. I didn't know what to expect. I remember reading about it in the brief description on the back. I think it's pretty interesting seeing that it's with Jonah Hill and John C. Reilly, and I like both of those actors in a lot of their films. So I didn't know what to expect from this, despite the fact that the story behind it seemed kind of interesting from what I read in the back. But after watching this, it was unbelievably funny. I thought it was really good. The story was great. The acting was really done really well. There was a lot of funny comedic moments in here, and it's something that I definitely say check it out if you haven't done so, guys. All right, so definitely I say check out Cyrus. The next film that I have to show you, of course, is no mystery, no surprise that I would have gotten this film anyway. If you've seen my previous film, you know what I'm about to say about this one, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. And it's basically Day of the Dead, a new remastered version that came out. Again, great film. I love this. I'm a huge fan of George Romero, so I definitely, when I found out this was coming out, I definitely had to get this one, on Blu-ray. As you know, I have like several different copies of this film on Blu-ray as well as on DVD. So, but again, I'm really glad that they came out with this one. Tons of good stuff in here in terms of the bonus material, all the interviews. They got to speak to all the actors, which was fantastic. I was amazed that they did that, and I'm glad that they did, because it was just hearing everyone's perspective on it. It's so good. So definitely, if you guys are zombie movie fans or George Romero zombie movie fans, get this one added to your collection, guys. The next film that I have to show you is a classic, probably seen on Christmas time thousands of times besides A Christmas Story, and that is Gremlins. I finally got this one on Blu-ray for my collection. Again, I watched this a lot when I was a kid, keep watching it over the years, and I finally decided that I should probably own a copy of it myself anyway. This is a great film. Again, Gizmo, don't feed him after midnight. Don't get water on him. He'll multiply, turn into vicious little gremlin monsters, if they feed him after midnight and stuff like that. So you guys know the story. It's pretty obvious, but it's a fun film. Great stuff. I seen the second one too. It was okay, but I really didn't like it as much as, of course, the original. The original, of course, like anything, is always the best. So definitely, if you haven't seen it, check out Gremlins. The next film that I have to show you basically is the 35th anniversary of John Carpenter's Halloween on Blu-ray. And absolutely amazing. I love the picture quality here on Blu-ray. Sound quality is great. Again, it's so good. I've seen the Rob Zombie remakes of the Halloween series, and they're okay, but they don't compare in terms of how John Carpenter presented this film. What he did right here. Trying to give us a bit of a backstory in terms of who Michael Myers was. Coming from a dysfunctional family and growing up the way he did, and that's the reason for why he becomes unstable in the Rob Zombie films. Okay, but the whole purpose of why these films were so scary, especially the original by John Carpenter, is the fact that Michael Myers is supposed to represent evil, in physical form, an entity in its physical form. That's what Michael Myers is supposed to represent, and why he follows Laurie Strode around trying to kill her. There isn't much of a backstory behind who Michael Myers was, except maybe just that that opening sequence. But it just adds to the fear that you have over not knowing who this is, and if you can even talk Michael Myers down or reason with him. It just makes it a lot more scary that this is just a wall, an evil presence that is just following you everywhere and just trying to kill you. And that's what makes this movie so great. Besides the fact that, of course, the camera angles, the background music also just adds to the whole atmosphere of this film being scary. So, and I definitely wanted to pick up this version when I got it. And here, this is a digibook actually. So of course, it has a nice little poster on the inside. It's got this, nice little essay where they speak to John Carpenter and they ask on his thoughts. Another interesting here is there's an hour-long documentary where they basically follow Jamie Lee Curtis, and she goes to a convention where she basically signs a lot of memorabilia from the actual film itself. And what's really cool is the fact that she never actually did anything like this before, so she wanted to give it, a chance to see what it was like. And she went in there, and she was absolutely amazing. I mean, there were like at least 1,000 people over the course of, I believe, about 3 days that came to this convention for this particular reason, to come see Jamie Lee Curtis and have her speak about the film. And from what you see from the documentary, she basically stayed there from the first person that entered to the last person left, and she was there, took photos, signed memorabilia, and like she was a really friendly person. It was absolutely fantastic. It's one of those things that I would like to meet Jamie Lee Curtis in real life and just be able to like have her sign this actually, so it would be pretty cool, but yeah, absolutely, again, great film, had to have it. The next film that I have to show you is this film called The Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy. Oh my God, this movie is so hilarious. I remember from the trailers it looked pretty funny, but there are a lot of things that actually happen in this film that just add to the laughs from what the trailer revealed. And it's basically Sandra Bullock's character and Melissa McCarthy's character, who I believe Sandra Bullock comes from the FBI, and Melissa McCarthy is from, I believe, she's a police officer, but I forgot where. For some reason I want to say that she's part of the Boston PD. Which I'm probably correct. It is from the Boston PD, and they kind of get brought together, by unforeseen circumstances, or maybe actually pretty obvious circumstances that have kind of brought together. That they're unwillingly brought together to work on a particular case, and they kind of learn from each other how to be able to kind of adjust to each other. And it's those moments that actually prove to be the funniest parts of this film. Of course, Melissa McCarthy is hilarious. From Identity Thief, and Bridesmaids, she was a hoot, and it was always fun to watch. So I really found it pleasantly entertaining. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it actually turned out to be a lot more. So I definitely appreciate it for what it did. It was funny. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It was funny. So I definitely say, guys, check out The Heat if you haven't done so already. The next film that I have to show you, of course, is the last film in the Iron Man trilogy, Iron Man 3. Again, I like this movie for what it was. I'm not really a huge comic book fan. I do read up on certain things here and there. I do research whenever I know that particular comic book movie is coming out, just so I know the background about it. So I knew a few things about Iron Man coming into this film, things about the Mandarin, and of course, a lot of people bash this movie for not following the comics precisely. One of the major critiques that I've always heard was the fact that they chose what is his name? What is this actor's name? His name is Ben Kingsley. They actually chose Ben Kingsley to play the Mandarin, even though if you've seen the film, it turns out that he really isn't the Mandarin, right? Spoiler right there, guys, if you haven't seen this movie. So I apologize for that. But anyway, so a lot of people had gripes about that. A lot of people had gripes in terms of the direction the film was going. But I honestly think that it was a good film. It wrapped up the entire Iron Man, trilogy really nicely. It almost kind of mimics how the Dark Knight series kind of came to a close with The Dark Knight Rises. So I think what they were trying to do was something very similar with Iron Man 3 in terms of, what happens at the end. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. So, but just, keep in mind that it kind of is very similar to how the Dark Knight trilogy actually ends. So, but again, special effects were great. Seeing all the Iron Man suits is fantastic as well, and what can I say? I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark, man. He embodies, the character so well. I mean, I don't think I could have chosen anybody else to play Iron Man or play Tony Stark. So definitely. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Maybe a lot of people may not agree with me. Some people probably hate the film for what it was, but I personally enjoyed it, for what it was, like I said. So definitely Iron Man 3. And the last film that I had to show you, of course, again, another one, shouldn't be a surprise for those of you who are gonna see what I'm gonna show you next. Um, Pacific Rim. I mean, I'm a huge monster fan. I'm a huge Godzilla, fan. And those of you that have been watching my videos know that I've been hyping a lot about Godzilla, especially the new one that's coming out that's being done by Gareth Edwards. So again, I saw this in theaters. I absolutely loved it. The idea of piloting giant, Jaegers to fight, giant kaiju monsters is like, oh my god, it's like, geez, boyhood dream. Like, again, piloting Voltron or piloting anything, Power Rangers related, back when I used to watch Power Rangers and stuff like that. It's so much fun. This movie, it rocks on so many levels. The CG, the character designs for the Jaegers and the monsters, absolutely amazing. They're so great. Even though some of the kaiju designs, I feel like they're borrowing off a little bit of the classical kaiju monsters from Gamera movies, especially one in particular. But other than that, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. All the foreshadowing, the colors that are in here, it's absolutely vibrant. It's so good. Monsters, robots fighting monsters. That's all I'm gonna say. It's absolutely amazing, and I think that this movie, being as successful as it was, will probably open doors to future giant robot or giant monster movies that are come, especially now with Godzilla coming in, fairly soon. So I'm hoping that this will just continue to, and Godzilla will continue to open doors for, a new breed of giant monster films that will probably and hopefully start invading the theaters here in the. Yeah, guys. So again, absolutely Pacific Rim, all around great movie, lots of fun, so charged. There's so much adrenaline in here that it just kind of sucks you in, and you just don't want it to stop. The battle sequences between the Jaegers and the Kaijus were so well done. It's almost seamless how you probably sometimes can't even tell whether it's actually real or CGI. That's how much, I was sucked into it, just going for the ride. There's so much action. The music in here just adds to the overall tone of the action as well. I just had fun. It was a lot of fun. And I give, Guillermo del Toro, a lot of credit for putting this film together. He did everything for this, and I have to thank him for that, So absolutely, guys. If you haven't seen Pacific Rim, definitely check it out. If you have, it's worth another view. It's so much fun, guys. It's so much fun. So I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I have to show you. It's not much, and I think some of the movies that I showed you, I've probably already shown in a previous video, but I just wasn't sure what I have or haven't covered already, so I just decided to just put it all in there. I usually keep all the stuff like right here in this empty spot. So the only things here, I've already showed you guys definitely, Into Darkness, Star Trek, and, Frankenstein's Army. I definitely showed that in a previous video, so I wasn't going to cover those again because I knew for a fact that I did cover those. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely check out, my short film. Like I said, I'm going to include a link for that in the description. Give me comments on it, guys. Tell me what you think. I'll be working on other stuff in the months to come. And I'll keep, coming out with more movie collections update videos. I hope you enjoyed all the videos that I did over the October month. I'm probably going to be doing a couple of, Let's Plays now that are going to be part of my channel. So look forward to that. I don't know yet what games I'm going to be playing, but I'll definitely let you guys know ahead of time what I'm going to be doing and what I'm going to do with it, whatever, So definitely, guys, look forward to all that.